What up, peoples? It's your boy Cafe. Let's talk about it. So, a while back, there was a lot of talk surrounding the Roadhouse remake that they were doing with Jake Gyllenhaal, Conor McGregor. You know, some people was happy about it. Some people were not happy about it. Some people were like, "Hey, I don't really care." The trailer dropped. It just looked entertaining, and people were like, "Okay, cool." They tuned in to watch it. And let me say this, as a person who's a fan of Roadhouse, the original one with Patrick Swayze, I did not like this movie. This one with Jake Gyllenhaal, I did not like this movie at all. But apparently, Amazon was satisfied with it, even though the controversy surrounding it, because they're going to do a part two. They announced and said, "Yep, Roadhouse is getting a sequel with Jake Gyllenhaal coming back." Now they haven't given any details about the story or the villains or anything, but they made it official. Now I'm gonna tell you this: why Roadhouse doesn't need to have a sequel. Now some people may agree with my opinion, some people may not agree with my opinions, but at the end of the day, it's my opinion. So when you look at both of these movies, the reason why the first Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze is such a hit and such a classic that everybody loves is because, for one, the storyline. It was simple storyline. Patrick Swayze is a bouncer named Dalton, well known throughout the club and nightlife industry. The guy, Mr. Tillman, who opens up this club, he's got problems there. He wants to clean it up. He finds Patrick Swayze, said, "Hey, I need you to come clean this bar for me." Cool. And Patrick Swayze gets there, which he's no stranger to trouble, and see that in the process of him cleaning up, all hell breaks loose. Okay. Then you had Brian Grazer, you know, rest in peace to him, who was such a great actor. He played the villain, David Wesley, who was pretty much running the town. And then he had his henchman that was giving Dalton to have a hard time. Fight scenes was off the chain. Sam Elliott, overall was a cult classic movie that everybody loved and still watch to this day. And I still watch it to this day. So now when you look at this Roadhouse, why this Roadhouse didn't work. Not to take anything away from Jake Gyllenhaal, because Jake Gyllenhaal is a really good actor. He can act his ass off. The man's got skills. But number one, the story with this Roadhouse. The story with this Roadhouse was not simple. It was all over the place. It started out one way, then it went this way, then it went that way, then it went that way, where you were like, okay, what's the direction that they're going here? Because they're saying this, but then they throw this in here, they throw that in there. So you can just kind of tell with the storyline, it was just like, hey, you know what? We don't really need to put a story together because hey, it's Roadhouse. People like it. We just gonna have a lot of fight scenes up in here and throw Jake Gyllenhaal up in there and then throw Conor McGregor up in there. These are two well-known people, so they're gonna sell a movie. Nobody gives a damn about storyline. Just put those guys in there. And that's what they did. The next thing, Conor McGregor. He's a great fighter. I like Conor McGregor, but his acting skills are not good. And him as the villain was not a good choice either. Now, some of y'all may be like, oh man, why you hating on Conor? Not hating on him. But if you all seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about. Picking him as the villain was not a good choice. It was not a good choice at all. The next thing, was that the director Doug Lyman, he was upset because he wanted the movie to go to theaters, and he was upset about that because he was like, "Hey, this movie needs to be in theaters, not going to streaming." And he was like, "Hey, Amazon said that the movie was going to go to theaters." But I can see why Amazon didn't take this movie into theaters. Because if they would have put this movie in theaters, it would not have did good in the theater run. It wouldn't. Now, maybe that first week they probably would have made a decent amount of money, because the curiosity and the fans who love the franchise would have went to go see it. But I would say after that first week or so, it would have fell off and would have just disappeared. And now you're saying, hey, let's make a sequel. Now they're going to make the sequel because, for one, you know, financially it was success for them. A lot of people tuned in to watch it. You know, the numbers was up for Amazon, so yeah. But we already knew that was going to happen. That people were going to tune in to watch it. But the question is now, with you all making a sequel, are people going to tune in to see the sequel? Now, out of curiosity, people are going to tune in to watch it, but I don't think it's going to do those big numbers as the first one did because now people have seen it. And in their mind, they're like, okay, we kind of know what to expect. So it's not something that I'm going to rush to see. It'll be something like if I'm at home chilling or whatever, and uh, just watch it just out of because I'm at home, whatever, or if I'm with my boys or something like that, somebody will just watch it. But I don't think that people are going to be lined up to see this because they're not too happy with the first one. And here it is once again. This is what Hollywood does. They take hit cult movies that everybody love and they turn it into shit. Like now, you don't really see any creativity coming out of Hollywood. Everything now is a reboot or a remake. And it's crazy because some of the studios and the producers who started out making really good films and TV shows, now they're just turning to doing a bunch of reboots. It's like, man, how you start off this way and now everything now that you're doing is just a reboot, a reboot, a reboot, or a remake. And it's starting to the point where it's starting to piss people off. The people are like, another remake, another remake, another remake. That's what just starting to see now, just a bunch of remakes. And it's disappointing and it's pissing movie fans off because they like, I don't want to keep seeing all these reboots and remakes. Why don't y'all get together and create something? So, like I said, I'm not shocked that they're going to make a sequel, but at the same time, I'm not going to be like in a rush to go see this. It'll be like, oh, okay, well, I'll talk to some friends of mine first and see what they think about it, whatever, and before I go check it out. And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all feel the same way. So we just have to sit back and see. But you guys give me your opinion. Roadhouse 2 is coming. They're bringing back Jake Gyllenhaal. What's your thoughts about this? Are you excited about it? Or you just don't really give a shit? You just like, hey, leave it alone because of the disappointing first one? Let's have this conversation. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned.